Hey everyone, so today I'm back with a different type of video to share with you guys. So a few days ago I posted on my Instagram stories that I was in the process of making some graduation leis, and quite a few of you have asked how it was made, so I figured since I have one more to make, I'll go ahead and just share it on here how it's done. It's super easy, but I must tell you in advance that it does take some time, but of course the end result turns out really nice and it's a little different. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'll show you guys what you will need. Not very much, so that's a good thing. So first things first are your choice of ribbons. You could use any colors. I went with two colors. You could use two of the same kind, it doesn't really matter, but these are her school colors, purple and gold. So I went with that, and these are the 5/8 of an inch in 10 yards each. So there you have that, and I got those from Michael's. Next you'll need these crafting beads, and this is optional, but honestly I love the finish of a lei when it has like beads on them, so that. And then of course a pair of scissors. It would be best if you have like fabric scissors, just to cut the ribbon at the end, so I recommend that. But if you have other scissors, or if you don't have these scissors, it's perfectly fine. Last but not least is a lighter, but if you are under the age of 18, please get your parents' assistance when it comes to this part. So first things first, go ahead and take your ribbon, and you're going to unravel the whole thing. The next step is to take your ribbon, and you are going to fold the ribbon in half, so just find its center. So I just basically take the two edges and then just grab the rest. Okay, so that's your first one. Once you have the center of both ribbons, just place one on top of the other, like so, and then you're going to create a knot. So you want to kind of measure, you don't have to be precise, but just enough to have a little left over to tie at the end. So maybe I'll do this amount. You could just eyeball it, and that should be good enough. There you go, so make sure that's nice and tight. The next step is to create our first box stitch. So what you're going to do is take two of the same color. If you're using all four of the same color, it doesn't matter, but if you're using two different colors, this is important to remember. So you'll take one of the ribbons and you'll just make a loop with one ribbon in front of you, and with the other one, you'll take or make a loop and place the ribbon, and you could just use your thumb to hold both like this, and you'll have the ribbon in back of you. So that's very important in creating the box. Next step is to take your first ribbon of the other color, and you're going to make a loop, and you're going to go behind the right one into the first loop on the left. So go behind it, pull that through. This part right here is a little tricky. You want to make sure this one is going in between these two colors, your first color, and you're going to sorry if this is confusing, you're going to make a loop and put it through the second loop we just made that you didn't go through. So pull that through, and I'll show you again if this is confusing. Okay, so there you have it. You have both strings, and now we're just going to take all four ribbons, and as you can see, it is kind of twisted, so you want to adjust that. That's very important, because then your pattern will be off if it's not, if the ribbon's not in the same direction. So there's the first box. So you want to pull lightly like so. And I'm just going with the size of the ribbon, like the width of the ribbon. And that's like the perfect width for me. But if you don't want to do that, you could actually tighten it a little bit if you want a thinner lei. But for me, I think a thicker lei looks nicer with this kind of ribbon. So let's see. This one is, okay, this one I have to adjust because it's twisted. So now that I've created the first box stitch and have adjusted it to the width that I like, we're gonna create more box stitches, but this time we're gonna go diagonal. So what you're going to do is take the opposite color of this one. And what's cool about it is once you create the box, it kind of forces you and lets you know what color you need to do next. So you're just gonna alternate colors. So you'll take this color here and the other one, you're gonna just make a loop again, like how I showed you earlier. And then you're going to create another loop. And just hold both of them. Try to hold both of them with your left thumb. And then this part, don't mind. If it does get tangled within here, just remove it. Then you're gonna take the right ribbon and again, put it behind the right loop and into the other loop and just pull through. The same thing with the left ribbon. You're gonna go ahead and make a loop. And you'll lose your loops, but that's why it's important to hold it tight with your thumb. So you'll go over and under into this loop. Okay, and now we're just going to pull our colors together. We have our second box stitch, and of course you're just going to adjust it to where the boxes are somewhat even, like so. You're pretty much going to do the same thing until you run out of ribbon, but of course remember to alternate the colors. So as you can see, the second color, the purple one, is on the top left, so that's how you'll know you're doing it the right way. So I hope that helped a little bit. Now I'm gonna go ahead and continue to make more boxes and then come back and show you when I'm a little bit halfway through. All right, you guys, so I'm back with a few more boxes, and this is what it's looking like so far. And I also wanted to show you guys, now that your lei is starting to form and get a little bit bigger, it's going to be harder to hold. So let me just show you guys really quick how I hold the lei when I'm creating the loops. Really quick, you're just going to take your next color and make sure you hold it tight, because you don't want any of these or the previous boxes to come loose or tighten up. So it's important to hold it tight. And my other loop, I'm going to hold behind the bottom. So just gonna do the same thing, make your loops and then hold it in the back, but you want to scrunch the whole thing up so you get your hands on the whole lei. And then same thing, take your right ribbon, create a loop, and then just pull through. Same thing, take the left ribbon and pull through the other loop. Alright you guys, so I'm back with a few more boxes that I've added on, and this is what it's looking like so far. And you're probably wondering how I am holding everything while I'm making the boxes. So this time you don't have to scrunch it all the way to make the box. Basically just grab a few, so I'll show you really quick. Make my loop and hold the center tight, and then I just grab a few pieces, and it won't tighten up or anything like that as long as you hold the center tightly. And then I'll make my other loop and put that behind so it looks like that. Just hold it. So that's what it looks like behind. And then I'll take my other color and do the same thing. Just go behind this loop and through. So you're just going to do the same thing, but I'm just showing you how I hold it now that it's getting a little bit longer. All right, and then I'm just going to take my other ribbon and put that through the other loop like so. All right, and then same thing, just pull everything together. And you kind of want to do this part a little or gently, because you don't want to pull on the previous box. So sorry, I'm just trying to adjust it here. There you go, another box. So that's how I've been holding it, if you're wondering if you still have to squinch everything to hold down. So all right, I'll be back. All right, you guys, so I've reached the end of my ribbon, and I don't know why this one's a little bit shorter than the others, but it's perfectly fine because we're just gonna tie the ends now. Let me show you guys really quick how it turned out. It may look small, but this is the material that stretches, so it's gonna be perfectly fine. So we're just gonna take two of the same colors and just make a knot. And you want to make this really tight. Like so. Then you're going to do the same thing with the other one. And tie that. So there you have that. Then with the other end, we're just going to cut these like that. And we're going to release this knot here. And we're going to do the exact same thing we did on the other end. So now you have your loose ribbon here. The next step is to take your crafting beads, and you're going to look for ones that have bigger holes. And I've actually picked out a couple, so I'll show you. So here's the two that I picked out of the bunch. They're definitely bigger than some that are in here. Like for example, You'll get some with this size, and there's some like this, but they're still a little bit too small. So these are perfect. Set that aside. So the next step is to take one of the ends and just twist the ribbon as tightly as you can. And we're just going to feed it through. And you want to twist in the same direction as you are twisting the ribbon. And right there is where you can just let go and pull all the way through, and there you have it. Do the same thing on the other side. So the next step is to take the ribbons and tie them together. So I'm going to take one purple and the other purple, and tie them together. Like so. And then we're going to take the second color and make a knot over the first knot. So it kind of secures that knot. And you could do it as many times as you want, but honestly, I think that's okay. I'm actually going to tie it one more time just to make sure that it's secure. Should be good. All right, and then the next step is just to trim off the fray edges. And this part you don't have to really measure the lengths. Well, it's up to you. You can have them all the same length as you, or if you want, or just different lengths. It's up to you. And I'm just cutting them at an angle so it has a little nice edge to it. So I think that's good enough. And finally, with the last step, again, if you are under the age of 18, please, please, please get your parents' assistance with this part, because we will be using a lighter. So basically, we're just going to pretty much burn off the edges so it doesn't fray. Gives you a nice, clean edge. All right, and I think I pretty much got all of the edges. So there you have it, guys. Again, you can adjust the top ribbons to whichever length you would like, short or long, but I love how it turned out. And it's definitely thicker than the other one I made, this one here. And it is shorter as well, but just keep in mind that this ribbon stretches out, so it's adjustable, but of course it'll go back to its shape. But there you go. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions or anything like that, always feel free to leave a comment or message me and I will get back to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.